Have you ever noticed something strange? A man in your neighborhood who used to take long walks every morning, always smiling, seemingly full of life at 74, and then suddenly he's gone. No big illness. No warning signs. Just gone before 82. Right? This happens more often than we want to admit. And it's not always because of heart attacks, cancer, or dramatic diseases. No, it's something far more silent and far more dangerous. Something that quietly creeps in when we stop feeling alive inside our own bodies. Okay, so I'm not talking about wrinkles or sore joints. I'm talking about something deeper. A slow fading of vitality. A quiet giving up. A loss of connection to who you truly are, as a man, as a person, as someone who still deserves to feel energy, purpose, and even pleasure. So today, we're going to uncover 5 hidden threats that slowly, almost invisibly, steal years from your life. And more importantly, we'll talk about how you can fight back, how you can reclaim your power and protect your precious time on this earth. Now you might be thinking, that's not me. I'm doing okay. But let me ask you something. Have you ever caught yourself saying, I just don't feel like myself anymore? Have you ever felt like your energy, your confidence, even your drive to connect, physically or emotionally, has dimmed? If so, don't worry. You're not broken. You're not weak. You're simply disconnected. And the good news? You can reconnect again, starting today. Let me tell you a story. His name is Robert. He's 71. Retired, used to be a contractor, big hands, quiet voice. When I met him, he looked like the kind of man who'd spent his life fixing things. But now, something was broken inside. He sat across from me, eyes lowered, and said, Doc, I don't really feel like a man anymore. It wasn't about performance. It wasn't about looks. It was about the way he felt in his own skin. He had stopped walking, stopped stretching, stopped touching himself, his wife, even the world around him. He wasn't sick. His heart was okay. Blood work was mostly normal. But his spark? Gone. And that's when I realized Robert wasn't dying from a disease. He was fading from disconnection. According to a 2023 study from the Harvard School of Public Health, seniors who stop engaging in regular physical and sensory activities, like walking, touching, even sexual expression, are up to 42% more likely to experience early cognitive and cardiovascular decline. Not because their bodies are failing, but because they've stopped using them in ways that make them feel alive. Robert isn't alone. This is what I call the silent fade. It happens gradually. First, you stop stretching in the morning. Then you stop making eye contact. Then you stop reaching for your partner's hand. One by one, the connections disappear. Not just with others, but with your own body. And here's the truth nobody wants to say out loud. A man who stops feeling like a man stops living like one. Not because he chooses death, but because he forgets how to feel alive. Now, you may not hear this from most doctors, because they're trained to treat symptoms, not spirit. But I've spent over 30 years working with older adults. And I can tell you, the body only lasts when the will to live is strong. And that will to live? It's not powered by pills. It's powered by connection. To your breath, your muscles, your purpose, your pleasure. A 2021 report from Johns Hopkins University found that regular movement, even just 20 minutes of walking a day, reduced the risk of early death by 30% in men over 65. Not because of the calories burned, but because movement reawakens hormones, boosts circulation, and helps the brain feel engaged with life again. But here's the sad truth. Most seniors don't lose their health because of aging. They lose it because they stop feeling their body. And once that connection is gone, life starts to shrink. You stop traveling, stop playing, stop exploring. Even your posture changes, from upright and proud to slouched and silent. And yet, it's reversible. I saw it with Robert. After our first session, I gave him a simple assignment. Every morning, before breakfast, I want you to stretch your arms up to the sky. Take 5 deep breaths. Then sit down and place your hand on your chest. And say, I'm still here. He looked at me like I was crazy. That's it, he asked. I said, That's the beginning. 2 weeks later, he returned with more color in his face. Said he started walking to the end of his driveway again. Said he touched his wife's hand for the first time in months. And most of all, he smiled. Not a big smile, but a real one. And let me tell you, that's what real reconnection looks like. So let me ask you this. When was the last time you felt connected to your own body? Not just functioning, but truly alive. If it's been a while, you're not alone. But I want you to know, it is not too late. Your body may be older, but your spirit, it's still waiting. And in just a moment, we're going to talk about the 5 deadly lies that are robbing you of that spirit, one quiet day at a time. Lies that most men over 60 believe without even realizing it. But before we go any further, I want you to do something for me. Take one hand. Place it gently on your heart. Take a deep breath and just whisper to yourself, I'm still here. And I'm not done yet. Because the next step in your journey starts right now. Part 2. The 5 deadly lies that quietly steal your life before 82. Let's talk about the truth. Not the numbers on a blood test. Not the charts doctors point to when they say, everything looks normal. I mean the real truth. The kind that lives inside your bones, in your breath, in that quiet voice that says, something's missing. What if I told you that the biggest threat to your longevity isn't in your genes, your heart, or even your diet? It's in the lies you've been told, and the ones you've silently started to believe. Today, I want to share 5 deadly lies that most men over 60 carry deep inside. Lies that don't just make life smaller, they make it shorter. Lie number 1. I'm too old for that. Too old for what? To feel joy. To feel strong. To feel wanted. To feel alive? That lie has stolen more vitality than any disease. I've met 84-year-olds who flirt with life like they're 40 because they never stopped believing they could. The truth is, age doesn't define your worth. Okay, disuse does. It's not about the number of candles on your cake. It's about whether you're still lighting fires in your spirit. Never say, I'm too old. Say, I'm still here, and I'm not done yet. Okay, now, lie number 2. Physical pleasure doesn't matter anymore. This one is deep, I must say. So that's why many men, especially after 65, slowly stop reaching for pleasure. Not just sexual, but physical. So they stop stretching, stop dancing, stop touching, stop being touched. Right, and here's the tragedy. When you lose touch with your body, you lose your roadmap to vitality. Because biologically, physical pleasure, even self-touch, boosts testosterone, circulation, and mood. Neurologically, it activates regions of the brain that keep memory sharp and emotions balanced. Emotionally, it reminds you that you're alive, that you're not a machine, and you're a man. With senses, with needs, with soul. The truth is, pleasure isn't a luxury. It's a life source, and you are still worthy of it. Remember? Here is lie number 3. I should save my energy by doing less. This one sounds logical, until you realize how destructive it is that I hear men say all the time. My knees hurt, so I stopped walking. My back aches, so I stay in the recliner. I don't sleep well, so I nap all day. But here's what actually happens. Your muscles shrink. Your heart weakens. Your brain fog thickens. And suddenly you've aged 10 years in 6 months. Not because of illness, but because of inactivity. Right. You see, movement creates energy. And stillness, over time, takes it away. You don't need to run marathons. You just need to move. Every day. A little bit. With intention. You don't save energy by resting. You generate it by living. Okay, so now is lie number 4. I personally hate this one. Real men suffer in silence. You were raised in a different era. You were taught not to cry, not to complain, not to ask for help. But let me tell you what I've learned after 30 years of working with aging men. The ones who stay silent, they're the ones who fade fastest. Not because they're weak, but because they carry everything alone. You know, the heart was never meant to hold grief by itself. The body was never meant to carry stress without release. And the soul was never meant to struggle in the dark without someone saying, I see you. Real strength isn't silence. It's courage to speak, to connect, to ask, to feel. So you don't have to go through this alone. You need to open up, even just a little, only then healing rushes in. Now here we come to the last one. Lie number 5. It's too late to start over. Let me tell you a secret. Some of the strongest men I know didn't start living until after 70. That's the fact, you know. They got back into gardening. They rekindled intimacy with their partners. They started stretching every morning. They touched their bodies with kindness instead of shame. And they looked in the mirror, and instead of seeing decline, they saw a second chance. It's not too late. It's never too late. In fact, if you're still breathing, still listening to this, your second life is waiting for you to live. It starts not with a pill, but with a promise to reconnect, to feel again, to move again, to believe again, to live again. So let me ask you something. Which of these lies have you carried? Be honest. You can stop this video, take few seconds and comment in the comment section below. Just type the number of the lie that hit home the hardest. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, or you don't have to tell anyone but yourself. But the point is, keep it honest. Please do it now because it's really important. Okay, now say, I'm done living someone else's story. I'm ready to live mine. Because in the next part of this journey, I'm going to show you exactly how. How to reconnect, how to restore, how to build back the vitality that aging tried to take away. Okay, this isn't about chasing youth. This is about reclaiming your manhood, your strength, your dignity, your pleasure, in the most natural, grounded, and powerful way possible. And we're just getting started. Part 3, the restoration ritual, reclaiming vitality from the inside out. So, you've let go of the lies, right? You've seen how they slowly dim your light, shrink your world, and steal the life that still lives inside you. It's now time to talk about the way back. Because healing isn't about running toward youth. It's about returning to yourself. Okay, and in my 30 years of guiding men through this transformation, I've found that what works best isn't a massive overhaul or some complex protocol. It's a simple ritual. A daily, repeatable practice that reconnects your body, mind, and spirit, called the restoration ritual. Today, I'm going to walk you through it step by step. Okay, you don't need a gym. You don't need a prescription. You don't need anyone's permission. What you need is only a little bit of time and the willingness to feel alive again. Now, there are 6 steps of this process, so I want you to listen carefully. You can take note if you'd like, or just save this video for later review. Okay, so now here's the step 1. Create sacred space. Before anything begins, you must prepare the space, not just physically, but emotionally. Find a quiet room where you won't be interrupted. Dim the lights. Set a towel or soft blanket on your bed or favorite chair. Okay, and please turn off your phone. Shut the door, because this is your time. And you may want to light a candle. Play soft music. Not because it's romantic, but because your nervous system needs safety. Okay, this is not a performance. This is not a goal. This is a homecoming. Step 2, breathe and arrive. Most men don't realize how tense they've become until they stop moving. So let's start here. You close your eyes. Put one hand on your heart, the other on your belly. Okay, now breathe. Slowly. Through the nose. 4 counts in, 6 counts out. Feel your ribs expand. Feel your shoulders soften. Right. This alone resets your stress hormones. It signals your body that it's safe now. You can come out of survival mode. You do this for 3 minutes. Nothing else. Just breathing and being. Okay, next step. Step 3. Reconnect with touch. You don't need to rush. Just start by gently placing your hands on your thighs. Then your arms, your chest. Not to arouse, okay, but to acknowledge. Your body has carried you through 6, 7, 8 decades. Touch it like it deserves reverence. Then slowly begin exploring the places you've ignored. Your belly, your inner thighs, your hips, your lower back. Let yourself feel. Not just the sensation, but the fact that you're still here. Still breathing. Still worthy of kindness. Still capable of connection. Even if it begins with you. Step 4, awaken the core. Now we bring the body back online. These next movements are subtle, but powerful. They activate the pelvic floor, the base of your spine, and your inner strength. Here's how to do. You tighten the muscles as if you're trying to stop a stream of urine mid-flow. Hold that squeeze for 5 seconds. Breathe as you hold. Then release. I want you to do 10 slow reps. That's 1 set. If you can do 3, 1 in the morning, 1 midday, 1 before bed. These are called Kegels, but don't let the name fool you. They're not just for women. They're your hidden engine, the foundation of strength, blood flow, and pleasure. When you do this daily, something strange happens. Your erections feel firmer. Your bladder feels more controlled. And your sense of masculine power quietly returns. Next is step 5, reclaim sensual confidence. This final part is optional. But for many men, it's the most healing. Now, if it feels safe and natural, allow your hands to explore yourself more intentionally. There's no need to achieve anything. Okay, this isn't about climax and presence. What does your body feel like today? Where do you feel warmth? Tension? Can you move slower than usual? Breathe deeper? Stay longer with each sensation? Pleasure is not just physical. It's emotional feedback, a message from your nervous system that says, I feel safe. I feel alive. And when you allow it, even in small doses, you activate hormonal shifts that support longevity, clarity, and resilience. Okay, so we're walking through 5 steps so far. It's time for the last one. Step 6, integration and gratitude. Once you're done with the previous steps, don't rush away. Place your hands on your chest again. Breathe. Smile softly. And thank your body. Remember to thank your body. Because Manifest is really important and God is watching, and He will bless you. Okay, because you just honored something sacred. Something forgotten. You just broke a pattern that leads too many men to early decline. And in doing so, you chose life. I want to leave you with this. You are not broken. You are not too old. You are not beyond repair. You're a man in a new chapter, wiser, deeper, more capable than ever before. But only if you say yes. Yes to the breath. Yes to the ritual. And yes to reclaiming your body. Not as it was at 25, but as it can be at 65, 75, even 85. You have the tools. You have the truth. Now all that's left is the choice. So I believe you've made the right decision. You've created space, reconnected with your body, and taken the first steps toward reclaiming your energy and vitality. But here's what I've learned after decades of working with men over 60. Progress is not a straight line. Even the most determined men will hit roadblocks. Moments when they question the process, doubt their progress, or quietly slide back into old habits. If that's you, let me tell you something right now. You're not failing. You're human. Okay, and the more you understand the obstacles ahead of time, the easier it is to navigate them. Even this video is a little too long now, but I want you to sit tight because I want to walk you through the 3 most common reasons men give up on reclaiming their vitality, and what to do instead. Roadblock number 1. I'm not seeing results fast enough. Let's be honest, you've been trained to expect fast fixes. Take a pill, get a result. Do an exercise, feel a pump. Watch a video, feel better instantly. Right? But the truth is, real healing doesn't work that way. You didn't lose strength, energy, or confidence overnight. So why would it come back overnight? Your nervous system is rebuilding. Your hormones are rebalancing. Your body is remembering what it means to feel alive again. Okay, it takes time. So here's what I tell every man I work with. Don't chase intensity. Chase consistency. It's not about doing 100 reps once. It's about doing 5 reps a day, every day, until your body wakes up and says, yes, I remember this. Keep showing up. The results are coming. Roadblock number 2. This feels silly or shameful. You wouldn't believe how many men say this to me. Doc, I feel ridiculous. I'm 70 years old. Why am I doing Kegels on the floor by myself? And you know what I say? Because you want your life back. And there's nothing ridiculous about that. Okay, let me ask you something. Would you feel shame for stretching your back if it was stiff? Would you feel silly for exercising your heart with walking? Of course not. So why feel shame for reconnecting with the part of you that makes you feel strong, confident, and masculine? The truth is, you've been conditioned. Conditioned to believe that sexual energy is only for the young. That men past a certain age should shrink back, give up, and fade into the background. But that belief? It's not just wrong. It's deadly. When you disconnect from your physical pleasure, your whole system begins to shut down, mentally, emotionally, hormonally. So let's rewrite the story. This work is not shameful. It's sacred. You're not just honoring your body. You're honoring the years, the wisdom, the fire that still burns inside you. Right. Let go of the shame. Hold on to the truth. Okay, so now here's the roadblock number 3. I fall off track, so what's the point? Here's what usually happens. You start strong. You do your exercises for a week. You feel a little better. You skip a day. Then another. Suddenly, it's been 2 weeks, and you think, I blew it. But let me tell you something no one else will. Falling off track doesn't matter. Getting back on does. Okay, no one is consistent 100% of the time. Not me. Not you. Not anyone. The difference between men who thrive and men who decline? The ones who thrive return. They forgive the setback. They take a breath. And they come back to the ritual, even if it's messy, even if it's small. So if you've lost your rhythm, here's your permission. Begin again. All right? Not because you should, but because you still can. Every breath is a chance to choose life again. Now the one final truth. This journey is not about perfection. It's not about being who you were at 25. It's about being fully alive at 65, 75, even 85. It's about walking tall, sleeping well, laughing without leaking, loving without shame, and feeling your body say, I'm still here, and I still matter. Okay, and now if you're still watching, still listening, still showing up, I see you. You're not weak. You're not broken. You're a warrior in the second half of life, and your story is still being written. So reclaiming your vitality and connection to your body after 60 is a journey, not a quick fix. Along the way, it's normal to face doubts, frustrations, or moments when progress feels slow. But remember, these moments don't define your path. Your persistence does. One common hurdle is the expectation that results should be instant. Many expect to feel like they did in their youth overnight. When that doesn't happen, disappointment creeps in. The truth? Your body has changed and healing takes time. Celebrate small victories, a little more energy, a clearer mind, a moment of joy. These are signs your body is waking up. Inconsistency is another challenge. Like any muscle, your sensual and physical vitality needs regular care. Practicing your new habits a few times a week, not just when you feel like it, is key to steady progress. Treat this commitment as an act of self-love, not a chore. Performance pressure can silently sabotage you. If you focus too much on results, anxiety can tighten the very muscles and energy you're trying to awaken. Let go of the outcome. Enjoy the sensations and the process itself. Pleasure, however subtle, is a win. Finally, there's the shadow of shame. Cultural myths and old beliefs may whisper that it's inappropriate to seek pleasure or intimacy at your age. Push back with compassion. Seeking joy and connection is a human right, not a luxury or a shameful secret. As you navigate these challenges, you're building more than just physical health. You're cultivating resilience, confidence, and a renewed spirit. This isn't just about longevity. It's about living fully, deeply, and vibrantly in every year ahead. Yes, and remember, your story is still unfolding. Every step you take toward reconnecting with your body is a bold declaration that life doesn't fade with age. It transforms. Keep moving forward with patience and kindness toward yourself. In the next episode, we'll explore practical tools and daily rituals that can support this vibrant journey, helping you stay strong, joyful, and connected to the life you deserve. If you found hope or insight here, drop a 1 in the comments or share your thoughts. Your courage to engage can inspire someone else taking this path.